Hi, I'm James. I'm a chef over at Create a Cook. This morning I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect over easy egg. Today I'm going to use olive oil instead of butter, some salt and pepper, some eggs obviously, and then a spatula and a bowl, and a nice skillet. I have a non-stick skillet. You don't need a non-stick skillet if you do it right. I'm going to use a fish spatula today. It's my favorite kind of spatula. If you don't have one, sort of a thin, flexible metal spatula, plastic also will work. The first thing we need to do is preheat the pan. You want your pan on medium heat. You don't want it on high. You want to blast your pan. You're going to overcook your eggs. You're probably going to burn them and they're going to stick. So you really want it on medium. It's going to take about 2 minutes to heat up depending on how hot your burner is and depending on how big your pan is. The next thing we need to do is crack some eggs. So I have one egg cracked in here already. What I like to do, a lot of people like to crack their egg on the side of a bowl. What I do is just one good Canuck on the table. Break it open with 2 hands. Into the bowl it goes. Alright, so our pan's been heating up for about 2 minutes. It's time to add our fat to the pan. Today I'm using olive oil. I'm going to go once around the pan. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. You can move it around and you can kind of tell how hot your pan is if it's ready by how quickly the oil moves. It becomes less viscous. Otherwise it becomes more like water. It looks more like water. So it's a nice hot pan, nice hot oil. The reason why I'm using olive oil as opposed to any other fat is just personal taste. I like the taste of olive oil. It's a little bit healthier option than using butter. I eat eggs a lot of mornings, and instead of using tablespoons and tablespoons of butter every week, I use a little bit of olive oil. You can also use canola oil if you want a neutral oil that doesn't taste like anything. You can use coconut oil. It's totally your preference, but my preference is olive oil. Alright, we're ready to cook the eggs. So I have these eggs in a bowl. Bring it over to your pan. You can kind of get as close to the pan as you can and right into the pan. Now we're going to give those 30 seconds to set up. While we're doing that, a little bit of salt and pepper. Once again, that's your taste. In about 30 seconds, we're going to cover it. But I'm kind of just giving them a gentle shake just to make sure they're not stuck, and they aren't. So it's looking good. Now the next step is grabbing a lid. If you don't have a lid, you can use a pie pan. You can actually use a small plate, like a ceramic plate, just as long as it's not directly touching your fire. I'm just going to cover my eggs. Turn them down to low. And give them about 2 minutes. The pan, the covered pan, creates a little oven, and it will cook the top of your whites and kind of leave the yolks nice and runny. So that way we won't have to flip our eggs and worry about breaking our yolks. Alright, 2 minutes have gone by. I took the lid off. All the yolk is cooked. We have a little crispy edge here. And if you can kind of just poke your yolks, you can see that they're nice and runny still, which is what I like. So let's move over to our plate. We have some toast here. And if you kind of wiggle your eggs back and forth, you can kind of scoot your fish spatula right underneath your eggs and slide your eggs right off the pan right onto the toast. So let's check our yolks, see how we did. Nice and runny. Alright, so that's how you make the perfect over easy egg. You just have to get to know your pan, get to know your stove, and you're going to be an expert at cooking eggs in your own kitchen.